What's up, party people? Strobe Quintarian here, and in today's video, I want to go over the possibilities of who I think that the final character for Tekken 8's last roster spot could potentially be. This is going to be revealed at the Video Game Awards show, which starts on the 12th of December at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time frame. This video is also being brought to you by the FGHQ Discord channel. Now, this video is going to be divided up into chapters, so if there's a specific section that you're looking forward to, you can skip all the things you don't want to see and go right to what you want. With that being said, let's get started. First off, let's tackle established characters in the Tekken franchise that could be returning. Now, if we look at the Winter Update Season 2 trailer, we see huge hints that Anna Williams could be coming back, but in Season 2. So she's coming in Season 2, she's not coming in Season 1. So who could be the Season 1 finale character that's going to be revealed? I'm going to start with Lei Wulong. Now, Lei has been a prominent character in the Tekken franchise ever since his debut in Tekken 2. But in the last Tekken game, Tekken 7, he was a bit of a late arrival to that game, and I feel that that trend's going to continue in Tekken 8. Two more characters I would like to cover are Craig Marduk and Fakum Ra. Now, both of these characters were expected to be the DLC releases for Season 1, with Craig Marduk being the third and Fakum Ra being the fourth. Due to data mining and leaks, Eddie and Lydia were kind of confirming those leaks were to be true, and I think Bandai Namco, in order to kind of derail that, changed up their schedule. And instead of releasing Craig Marduk as the third character, they changed it to Heihachi. Now, because of that, I think that whoever this last character is going to be needs to generate more excitement than Heihachi did, and I don't believe that Craig Marduk or Fakum Ra actually meet those marks. A couple of honorable mentions, we'll have Bob, Armor King, Kunimitsu, and Miguel, all popular characters, but again, I don't think any of these characters hit that excitement mark with a release, and my conclusion is that the last DLC character is not going to be a returning Tekken character. But what about an original Tekken character? A couple of ideas that I heard out on the internet were Angel Jin and Devil Reina. We see both of these characters only in the story mode of Tekken 8. Jin you actually get to use, and Devil Reina we see in the final trailer scene of the Tekken story. Of these two characters, I believe that Devil Reina is really the only plausible character that could be turned into an original character, but unless Devil Reina's moveset is super flashy and just really cool to look at, I don't foresee her being the last character either, and so we might get a completely original character, and if we do, here are a couple of fighting styles I would love to see incorporated. First, the Shaolin martial arts, specifically maybe one of the 5 animal arts. And now, I know that Lei Wulong has this ability in his kit as a stance, but I'm talking about a character that's sole focus is on this fighting style. Much like Leon from Virtua Fighter, with his fighting stance. Or you could even have the Drunken Master and then have them only do drunken boxing throughout for their entire moveset. Another idea, incorporate another weapon user. Now, we've had Kunimitsu and Yoshimitsu as 2 weapon users in Tekken, and it's proof that weapon users can be utilized in the game. And we could get into this a little bit more when we talk about some guest characters. And finally, Counter Grappler. Now think of this character as a combination of Asuka Kazama's defensive abilities mixed in with King's offensive throwing abilities. So you would have a character that would have like throw sabakis for punches, kicks, and low attacks that do more damage than just say like a low parry, and give like different setups or options after the sabaki hits. And then offensively, they have throws that are ambiguous, that don't follow the traditional visual throw breaking that you see with all the other characters outside of King. So with that, let's get on to guest characters.
Hold up. How you gonna talk about guest characters and not bring the single best guest you've ever had on your pathetic little show?
What misery are you intending to bring to me today?
Well, I think that it's a perfect opportunity to bring up your sponsors. the FGHQ Discord channel. This channel has grown to over 500 members, so whether you're looking for friends or to just improve in your game, it's a perfect place for you. So whether you're a noob or a master at everything, like yours truly, there's a place for you here. They hold frequent tournaments and play games such as Tekken, Street Fighter, Guilty Gear, and even some non-fighting game titles. Also, these tournaments are both solo and team-based. Oh, and one more thing. They just recently brought back shedding sessions for Street Fighter 6 featuring one of CrossCounter's original coaches, Yates FGC, and they do it for free.
Really? You got us a sponsor? Outstanding job, man. So how much are we getting?
500 COS coins.
500 COS coins? What the hell is a COS coin? Is that like crypto? It's not real money, is it?
You know what? You. This is better than real money. This is a currency that is specific to the Discord channel, and you can use it to do things like put bets on spectator matches, play virtual games like blackjack and Russian roulette, or if you're a real boss, you can even put your money up against other members in the community in money matches, something I know that your loser ass would never do.
You know what? Gotta give you the benefit of the doubt. This does sound like fun. So anybody can join, right?
Of course anybody can join. Oh wait, did you mean could you join?
Of course I mean, who else would I be talking about? What a jerk. Anyways, let's move on with the guest characters. For the guest characters, we're going to cover one main character per franchise, starting with Bandai Namco intellectual properties, then moving on to some fighting game characters that are outside of Bandai Namco, and then finishing off with characters that are not your traditional fighting game characters. For the first franchise I like to cover, it's going to be Soul Calibur. And now this is another game that is a 3D fighter from Bandai Namco, and a character that I think would fit really well into Tekken would be Sophitia. Now Sophitia is a female character that wields a shield and short sword, and she fights up and close and personal, and doesn't have too much movement, so I think her inclusion in the game of Tekken would actually fit well. Other honorable mentions would be Mitsurugi, Taki, Kilik, and Sumina. Moving on to the next franchise, I think it could be really any of the anime fighters that Bandai Namco has, but I want to focus specifically on Dragon Ball. And most people will be like, Dragon Ball characters are way too overpowered to be in Tekken, and I agree. But what if you took a really weak character in comparison? For example, Hercule, also known as Mr. Satan. Now, Mr. Satan has no powers in comparison to the other Z fighters, but he is an actual accomplished and pretty strong martial artist, as he's able to win the world tournament in that universe. And I think you could be really creative with some of his moves. For example, his throw could be the dynamite punch combo, where he hits them a bunch of times and finishes with a strong punch, and they just kind of stand there before getting flung away. And then the rage art could be a present for you, where he goes up, hands them a present, walks away, and then detonates the present in their hand. I think that would be something pretty funny, and it would kind of fit. Other honorable mentions from the Dragon Ball world could be Goku, Vegeta, and Videl. And finally, Bloodborne and Dark Souls. If you just took the main character Knight that you utilize in the game, that could be a character that could be thrown into Tekken. Obviously, I think like Negan, you're pretty much creating their moveset from scratch and whatnot from that. But the games are very popular, and they might be able to bring in some newcomers to the franchise. Moving on to fighting games outside of the Bandai Namco company, we're going to start with Street Fighter. And I'm going to go in a direction that most probably wouldn't expect, and go with a character that would actually fill a gap that is currently in Tekken 8. As of right now, Tekken 8 doesn't have a Muay Thai fighter, and a character that could fill this gap would be Sagat. Now, is Sagat popular enough to be able to bring hardcore Street Fighter fans back into Tekken? That's hard to say. There are probably some other characters out there much better suited for that. For example, Luke, or even bringing back Akuma from Tekken 7. But I think Sagat could fill that role in the fact that he's big and tall, much like Fakum Ra is, and we've seen that fireballs really don't destroy the meta of the game. Another honorable mention could be Adon, as he's also a Muay Thai fighter as well. Moving on to Virtual Fighter, I think if you go this direction, you kind of got to go with the poster boy of the franchise, which is Akira Yuki. Now, this character has been the face of the franchise pretty much since its inception, and I think it'd be kind of an easy way to bring Virtual Fighter fans over to Tekken while they're waiting for a possible Virtual Fighter game to come up. And Virtual Fighter and Tekken could probably do something similar to the cross promotion that Street Fighter and Fatal Fury did, with Virtual Fighter sending Akira over to Tekken, and maybe Tekken sending, let's say, Jin or Kazuya over to Virtual Fighter. Next, we'll talk about Mortal Kombat, which is a very popular franchise and has seen some better days recently. But if you go with the two popular ninjas, Sub-Zero or Scorpion, I think that would be a big draw to come over to Tekken. Now, mechanics-wise, the juggling system in Mortal Kombat is a little similar to how it is in Tekken, so that familiarity can kind of help bridge that gap for Tekken, for Mortal Kombat players coming over to Tekken. But I think a couple of other honorable mentions that would possibly make this work would be Sonya or Johnny Cage. And then finally, let's talk about Dead or Alive. And much like Virtua Fighter, if you're going to go with the poster boy of the franchise, you kind of got to go with the poster girl of Dead or Alive, and that would be Kasumi. Now, I don't know how many people or how popular Dead or Alive still is, but you probably get a decent number of people coming over wanting to play Tekken because Kasumi is in the game. Some honorable mentions would be Ryu Hayabusa and Ayane. That brings us to our last category, which are non-traditional fighting game characters. Now, we could talk about franchises like Sonic the Hedgehog, Yakuza, or maybe even Star Wars, or even go into some movie franchises like John Wick or The Equalizer. But there's one character specifically that most fans are really wanting to see, and that is Tifa Lockhart from Final Fantasy VII. Now, if Tifa were to be announced at the Video Game Awards, I think that there'd be no other character that would generate more excitement for Tekken 8 right now than Tifa. And with that, I'm going to get into my predictions. I think there's a 30% chance that Tifa will actually be announced. I believe there's a 50% chance that it'll be a brand new original character, and a 20% chance that it could be something else. And with that, that brings us to the end of this video. Again, a recap. The Video Game Award Show is going to be taking place on December 12th at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time frame. Now, is there a established Tekken character that's out there that you really want to be put into this game? Or is there a guest character that you think would fit better? Let your voices be heard in the comment section below. If you enjoyed these videos, please like, share, and subscribe, as every view helps the channel to grow. And consider clicking that notification bell, as if you do, anytime a new video drops on the channel, you'll be messaged. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I'll have more of these in the future. But until then, I'll catch you donkeys next time.